what I think, but I guess it's all different for all players and teams. But I always like to have a good game before than an easier game before, like so you get a good start than just a walk in the park.
Yeah. I mean, it's the same for me. Whenever, I mean, you have specific teams that needs that one game to pretty much warm up, then it's nice to have an easier team to play versus. But then you have also the teams where they actually need to play a very tough game in order to even be better the next game. So it's a little bit, you know, if you're Virtus.pro and you got that easy game there, yeah, you might underestimate PENTA here a little bit. Who knows? They've probably done their homework a little bit. So I don't think that there will be any underestimation, especially coming in from the other tournament, I forgot the name, but
ASUS,
I mean they played each other there, right? And they probably know, Virtus.pro probably knows what PENTA is capable of. So I don't think we're going to see any underestimations from Virtus.pro.
You see, if Thorin had been here, which he isn't, he'd have made a joke there when you were talking about that. He'd have gone, every game was a hard game for you, Fifth-Flyer, and that's what he would have said.
Yeah, I mean,
but I mean, you know, I'm not like Duncan, and I don't like to abuse people.
Well,
that I work with.
you did mention it. Where's the camera? Actually, okay, there's the camera, and I'm pretty sure. If I'm unlucky right now, that Thorin is watching, and he's probably laughing at that joke right now because he's like, "Yeah, I would do that."
This is how he operates. It's all about the burns. But the good thing is, you are a big enough lad to defend yourself.
I mean, after we're done, I'm gonna go over to the toilet and cry. But I mean, on camera, I'm all good.
I'm just kidding.
Of course.
Look, so let's talk a little bit about PENTA in this. Now, one of the things that I really like about PENTA on Mirage is, again, it's these boosts that they do. It's all about Crystal's Orb. Now, on the previous map on Inferno in the game that they just played, he didn't really get going. He seemed to be a bit jittery. He made a lot of mistakes. He was in good positions to get kills, and then he'd move.
Yeah.
It wasn't a vintage game by him. I'd argue he was one of the poorer performers on the team, actually, given the importance of his role. Now, I think if he can get going on this map in particular, though, orbs are really important on Mirage, both offensively and defensively. So let's talk a little bit about the role he's got to play in this. Again, I'll start with you, Marcus. It's very important to have a good AWPer on Mirage, but tell us why.
Yeah, well, if you can control the mid and start, it's really good to also have. If you have the AWP, you can also start like rotating from B to mid to A halls or whatever. You can do a rotation everywhere with the AWP. That's how I like to play the AWP on Mirage, but I'm not quite sure how they usually do it. But that's what I think is really good. You can rotate all over the map pretty much. You don't have to be on one spot.
Well, you picked up the AWP from time to time during your time in Ninjas in Pyjamas as well. Did you ever AWP on Mirage?
Yeah, I did, and again, I was probably not the best AWPer on that specific map, but you have so many options, especially on the CT side on Mirage, where, like Marcus was saying, you can go B, you can go mid, you can go A. So it's pretty much in the beginning of the round, if you have an AWP, especially for Crystal, it's very important for him this game that he calls out and during freeze time. Oh, I'm going to go and try and get a pick on B
Switching
now,
it up.
or Cat, or because they know like. Versus specific teams, or versus most of the teams, mid will get smoked off, especially during that the tower that you have most of the snipers. On top of that, you're going to go head-to-head to Pasha, a very strong AWPer. So you always want to keep them on their toes. So you never want to just go pick the same site and whatever. You know, if you have a good spawn towards A, go towards A, go in apps, try and get a pick, get an entry, because that's going to really benefit your team to actually get off to a good start.
Yeah, that's what I would like to see from him. I think that could be a game changer for them.
Well, again, at the Ace Race Invitational where they went to, I think it was against Reason Gaming. They played and won on Mirage. I think it was. No doubt some statistician at home will tell me I'm wrong, but I can't quite remember. For some reason, it was a bit of a drunken event, almost as if all of Take TV's events are like that. Yeah, so it's a little bit hazy. But I do distinctly remember Crystal went absolutely massive. I think he did like 30 frags. He was just incredible all over the place with the map. And I think he will play in that similar way here. This has always been a map where he's one of those players who feels it, he gets into it, he likes to play off spawn, and he just says to his teammates, I'm just going to run here. Now, the only difference that to any other player that likes to play off spawn and go and make picks, and we know there's a number of them in Global Offensive, is that he takes someone with him. There's so many little boost spots that they like to do. Even when they peek mid, he'll stand on someone's head, so it's just at slightly a different angle for the defensive CT in the window. And it's little things like that that really make him such a an interesting player to watch on this. So
yeah, and it's going to cause problems for Pasha as well, because again, Virtus.pro, they have Pasha, he's a very solid opper, but when you do stuff like that, there's tiny little changes and whatnot, it's not going to have a good time, and it really depends on, okay, in which form is he coming into this tournament? Is he on fire? Yeah, then he probably might not have an issue with these boosts, but if he's a little bit cold and Crystal is playing, again, he wasn't playing that good on Inferno,
no, he didn't, no.
But again, you might see that as that is probably one of the players where he needs a game first to warm up, and then coming into the second game here now versus a team like Virtus.pro, again, he needs to be on point.
Well, let's talk about the polls. Let's do that, because you can see we've got them on your screen now. They were in relaxed mood earlier, and again, one of the things that I always find fascinating whenever I come to these events is really studying what kind of mood Virtus.pro is in, because it tells you so much about what's gone off when they haven't been at tournaments. People probably don't realize this. If this is the first time you're tuning into a Counter-Strike event, maybe you don't know a lot about Virtus.pro. I'll qualify this as someone who's been around the scene for a long, long time. This team, it's not like they're best buddies. They don't all hang out. They don't all have tea parties and go to each other's house and like, oh, I baked you a cake and, oh, thank you. Oh, look, I baked one for you as well. They're not that kind of team at all. They have downtime where they don't even talk to each other. They have arguments in game. They're very passionate about who's right and who's wrong. Bialy in particular is a live wire. I mean, a phenomenally talented player, but I've seen him punch tables and doors, and he gets so angry when things don't go their way. And a lot of the time, the team, within the team, it's the chemistry that's the problem. I've said it many times. The only people who truly beat Virtus.pro are Virtus.pro. That's the reality. Now, I'm looking over at them here, and you've just seen yourselves at home. They're looking really relaxed coming into this tournament. There's a much better atmosphere around the team than there was in Germany a few weeks ago. They're, looking actually like they're all buddies at the moment, and there doesn't seem to be any arguments. But of course, they haven't had a test yet.
Yeah.
So you've known these guys for years. I mean, what are you picking up from their body language?
Yeah, it's like you're saying. I don't know though if it's a bad or a good thing, if they're looking relaxed or not. They've always been like that. So they've always been like a little bit on the edge on each other. So they've always been sticking together. So I don't know if it's a bad or good thing really. But yeah, they certainly look relaxed now.
What about you?
I mean, yeah, like you were saying, Taz has always been the kind of guy where he wants things to be right within the team. You even saw during DreamHack, they ended up, I think it was a group stage match. They ended up winning, but he was pissed because his teammates didn't do what they were supposed to do. They were sloppy, and they didn't really listen to tactics. Sure, they won 16-3 here now, but you still might have some internal issues. Probably by the way they look right now, they look very relaxed. Again, this is the first tournament of the year, if I'm not mistaken. So obviously, they want to have a good showing here coming into the next major, which is in March, and you have the qualifier and whatnot. So, again, this is a big deal for them. They want to end up here, going to go in with full force. Again, they have Penta now coming into the the brackets tomorrow. They probably want to end up trying to win this event, and looking at the atmosphere over there right now, if they keep on doing this, because again, you have teams that play good under pressure. Virtus.pro is probably one of them, especially when you have a guy like Taz screaming at you for every mistake and every good thing you do. So, and then I actually think it's better to have them like this than to just have them argue with each other. Who likes that? Right?
I'll tell you as well. I mean, individually, the talent they've got in the team, it never ceases to amaze me, really. I think this is a team that certainly has underperformed. Like, I look at players like Bialy, I think he's amazing. I think he's one of the best, raw talents that's kind of come up in a long time. I know he's been around for a while, but I think he's really hit his level now. And when we were, again, in Germany, I couldn't believe the things he was doing. It was a toss-up between him and Snacks. Like, Snacks is one of the smartest players I've seen in a long, long time. He reads the game incredibly well. He uses smokes like just no one I've ever seen. Puts one down, kind of feels his way around it, makes some incredible clutch, and this blend of like kind of youthful exuberance and inexperienced players and raw talent combined with guys like Neo who've done absolutely everything, heralded as the best player in Counter-Strike of all time. This team should be coming to events and steamrolling people, not just your vulgaires. They should steamroll everybody, like hands down, but they haven't been doing it. So, why? Well, what is it? What's missing?
Well, I think they had their peak during last year's Katowice, obviously, because they actually had the same lineup during DreamHack Winter, and they weren't nearly as good as they were during the Katowice event. And then after that, actually, again, for people who don't know, Virtus.pro is by far the most consistent team. They have probably never finished outside of top 4. They have the most top 4 finishes out of everyone right now. So they're still very solid. It's just that, yeah, sure, they're not winning.
Last little bit.
Yeah, they're not winning as many tournaments as after the Katowice tournament. Again, they lost to NIP, a very strong NIP during DreamHack winner, and just by a hair. They could have easily won 2-0 in maps there as well. So you didn't really see. They had a good tournament up until that point as well, and then coming in here again, I actually think that Virtus.pro, yeah, sure, they might not have had those final spots or into tournaments, but they're still a very good team, and they might not show it, and they may have some ups and downs, but when it comes to big tournaments, they will always be there and perform.
Yeah, and it's a new year as well, so maybe they have something else up their sleeve,
Well, I think if they do, it's going to come from one of the younger players. I mean, I've been following them online. Don't get me wrong, I think Neo is in great form right now. I think anyone who's been watching their games, he is tearing heads off. I mean, me and Anders were talking about that earlier. He was just like, yeah, Neo is on fire at the moment. And it's great to see that even in a new game, a guy who's played as long as he has, he can still
if Neo comes alive as well, together with Snacks and Bialy, and I mean, that could be...
It's terrifying.
Yeah, it's terrifying.
It's terrifying. So, but I still think for me, Snacks and Bialy are the key to success. So somebody that's played against them, tell me what that's like. I know it's probably not pleasant. So.
No, first of all, they're a very aggressive team. It's actually really hard to take a read on them, especially on certain maps. On their T side, especially when you have Snacks and Bialy doing the groundwork. They're first ones in, trying to get the entries, and you have Taz. Taz, again, in the beginning of CSGO, he was probably the best player. And then he probably gave that role to the little younger crowd. He's trying to help them out a little bit, kind of like a support role. Neo, again, he hasn't been that good up until recently. He's been actually stellar. Pasha, probably at the end of 2014 or mid 2014, he was probably by far the best player in the world. Yeah. Again, dropped off a little bit. So that's why you see these new players like Bialy and Snacks
coming forward.
Yeah, and they actually get more freedom to do so in game as well. So an extremely difficult team to play against for sure, because especially when they're on point. When they're all on point, they hit their shots, and they're very aggressive in terms of their play style, but they're very coordinated as well, which is, you don't really see that when you actually watch them. You just think that, well, you're just running around.
I seem to remember, Robin, and correct me if I'm wrong, but wasn't there a recording of some voice communications that were from an event? I can't remember which event it was, but they were playing against you, and they were saying like mean things about you and shouting them over, I think, so you could hear. They seem to be a team that does like to try and get in their opponents' heads. Is that something that you think is a facet of their game? Because they do seem to be, a bit more aggressive towards their opponents than perhaps we're used to from other teams.
They've always been like that.
Yeah, well, I mean, that specific one you're talking about.
I love that, by the way.
For sure.
Me too.
But that specific one you're talking about, that's actually from Katowice. It's in the finals, I believe. And first of all, I didn't hear a single word that they were saying. But I Taz, again, he's always very fast to tell people, I don't mean this. Yeah. This is just my banter to try to fill the motivation up in my team. And again, I didn't hear it. So it's just about trying to get confidence in their team. Talk a little bit of smack and whatnot. But again, it's all fair, and especially in game. It's not like he's after the game he's gonna be like, "Hey, you suck," and skull bash me or whatever. It's like, hey, get out of here. No. After the game and before the game, it's all friendly banter. Yeah. During the game, he can yell all he wants. Doesn't really matter.
So let's start kind of looking at some things that we think we're going to see unfold during the course of the game. We've pretty much highlighted the team's strengths and weaknesses, but let's just talk about some of the sort of more tactical elements. I know people at home love this, and this is where I have to kind of just tune out and be like, yeah, I got nothing, guys. I can't really talk you through any complex strats or tactics. So again, I'll start with you here, Robin. How do you think these two teams are going to set up? Which particular elements tactically are they going to bring to this map that we should really particularly pay attention to?
Well, looking at Virtus.pro, especially on their T side, they really like to hit the A bomb site. And they do so they can hit the A bomb site 4 or 5 rounds in a row, and then all of a sudden, that one specific round, they might just fake it. So you will see the same layout in terms of smokes on the A bomb site, but instead of actually hitting the A bomb site, you will just end up going B. And that's the kind of play I'm actually expecting Virtus.pro to do. Back in the day, they actually used to like to take a lot of mid control. That doesn't necessarily happen anymore. They actually do like to just hit the bomb site, hit it fast, with a lot of smokes, with the flashes, and just get the bomb down and play after plant. And again, you have a few fakes, you do have a few rounds for Virtus.pro as well, where they actually do take over middle and take over a little bit of more map control. But most of the time, you're probably going to see them hit a lot of A. Yeah. For Penta, their style of play is more a standard style of play. You have Crystal working the sites, trying to get an entry, taking over middle, get the map control so you actually can decide, okay, do we want to go into connector and hit A, or do we want to take over catwalk? Or you have more options there, and the play style, I would say, is more loose because they base it off of entries.
Based on picks.
Which it's going to be different. There's two completely different play styles here. And again, obviously, looking at their CT positions, actually that whole standard phase for Virtus.pro is actually better for them. They actually like to play that because, again, you have so many talented aimers on that team. So when you actually do rounds like that where it's just standard play, it's basically head-to-head. Whoever gets the headshot first. And Virtus.pro, that's the playstyle that they actually want to play against. That's why I'm saying that. That's why I actually think that Virtus.pro will have an easy time this game, because actually it helps them more to play a team like that where you do have standard positions and they just get to basically do what they do best, which is shoot heads. Whereas for Penta, they're going to have to be on their A game, especially on the CT side. They're going to be able to either retake the sites correctly or try and hold it correctly. And I can tell you one thing, looking at Virtus.pro A takes, you can't hold that. You have to retake it. And we'll see if Penta has actually an idea on how to do so.
Okay.
That's a really good thought.
Marcus, what about your thoughts about the tactics? Because you know, I know you're a dab hand. I mean, your notes, I wish we had them. He made some notes during the game. I wish I could show you this at home, honestly, I really do. Because we were like, oh, we were watching the game and then there was a delay, so we went away and we got some food and we got to, you know, we came back and then the game was on. And he'd been sat there with like this book and a pen. And I was like, oh. So you got some good notes for me, and when we looked at it, it just said, it just had the names of the two teams and then nothing else. So we were like,
I mean, the thing is, he's a very smart guy, right? So he had everything stored in here.
I didn't have to write it down. That's the only.
He'd been writing for an hour. He'd been writing for an hour, and that was it. That was the. But anyway, I'm sure. Look,
that's fine.
I know
we're gonna get back to him later.
Yeah, I know we said we're gonna do it.
Don't worry.
Come on, then. Give us some things that we can sort of look forward to.
So the thing is, I think, as you were saying, I think Penta will rely on the picks, while Virtus.pro will probably rely on their tactics and takes. So. If they get their picks, that's when. If Penta get their picks, that's when they can like win the rounds. It's going to be a lot of based on that. So, yeah, we're just going to have to see.
What about the importance of rotates on Mirage? Because I mean, you know, I know it's not a particularly big map, but still you've got that middle area where rotating through is very difficult to do without getting killed or bumped off or spotted.
Yeah. It's the rough part about Mirage is like if you lose B, it's really hard to retake. So you got to be on point on your rotation. I don't know how they really play, if they're gonna let go mid and stack like A 3 people or stack B 3 people. I'm not quite sure. So, but yeah, the rotation is always important.
Well, we'll look at the playbook you've got from this game afterwards as well.
For sure, man.
But we're still waiting for players to get set up. So I feel comfortable that if we need to fill, we can. So, but we're going to go to predictions now. I'm going to say that as much as I have faith in Penta, I don't see them beating Virtus.pro, but I do think they'll give a very good account of themselves and push them a little bit. So I kind of got this as a 16-9. I think to Virtus.pro, around about that. Okay,
so you stole my prediction. Okay, fair enough.
Yes.
I mean,
my telepathy.
Okay, you can't start off with, I actually think they might be able to give Virtus.pro a little bit, and it's like 69.
Well, 16-10 then. Go on, I'll go 16-10.
Okay. So double digits.
Double digits. Okay, there you go, double digits.
I would like to see Penta win, though. I mean,
okay, so you're trying to pull a Lewis here.
Yeah.
No one can pull a Lewis. You've got to be supremely drunk and supremely lucky all at once.
So let's see. I don't know. I hope Penta wins. That would be.
But what do you predict?
My prediction is 16-13 to Penta.
What?
Okay.
Yeah.
Let me just take his temperature.
Yeah.
The makeup will come off. Actually.
I mean, he had the notes, right? And we didn't, so he probably knows something we don't.
You didn't see the notes I had from the last game. So.
Yeah, he just wrote them in invisible ink. He's gonna like get the sun on them, and it's all out. But
no, but I was gonna say 69 actually.
Yeah.
But since you said that, I actually feel like I want to change. But it's gonna be. I actually think because I can't listen to Lewis. That's not gonna be good. But yeah, but I'm gonna keep it. I'm gonna say 69 Virtus.pro.
69 Virtus.pro. So I think we're getting about ready to go over based on what I'm hearing now. So I don't know. The important thing in all of this, I think, is that PENTA, for me, they understand now that, you know, it's like one game. If they win this game, it's all good. They're all through. They don't have to play again. And that's, like, for me, a huge carrot to be dangling right in front of them. You know, I watched them after the game, after the result. They did a little huddle. You know, that's expected
for them,
now.
this is huge.
But Crystal was sat there. He was even eating food, but like he was eating his noodles, like, and going. And what we're going to do is, and like, you know, giving them all this information about what we're going to do. So they didn't even take like a break apart from each other, you know, to get food. They sat down and ate together and talked. They stayed at the desks. They know the importance of this game, and like they're looking really well drilled, like as a unit. You know, they got through a tough game with big delays, threw their momentum off, and they still managed to come through. People need to believe that, you know, PENTA are just, they're real, you know, they're the real deal. They're getting better every tournament. But Virtus.pro are Virtus.pro. And that's the thing. It doesn't matter how much ramen you eat or how much you talk about it. I just think it's going to be a bridge too far for them to beat a team.
Yeah, I think we're talking about two different kinds of teams here. You have Virtus.pro, again, unknown top tier team, whereas PENTA, sure, they might be new and upcoming, but again, they're not top tier. They're mid tier at most, you know, and then coming into, sure, you know, this is this kind of game where I say that, PENTA are the underdogs.
For sure.
For sure. And then coming into a game like this, sure, they get to play on stage versus the Finnish crowd, and they get to play, again, Mirage, which I would have loved to see the veto, like which team vetoed what. But coming down to Mirage, I think they probably could have gotten a better map out of the veto system.
I don't think there was any chance that Virtus.pro were going to let them play Inferno, though.
No, probably not.
Yeah, that wasn't going to happen. So, well, look, we're getting ready. Apparently, the players are all about good to go. So I'm just looking over there at the stage. It looks like it's going to happen. If your prediction comes true, we're going to, I don't know, we'll do a forfeit or something. Like you take over hosting, I'll go to analysis, whatever it takes, right? So there you go. There's a reward for you. But thanks a lot for all your thoughts, guys. Really do appreciate it. Thanks to all you at home. We're now going to throw over other casters, Anders and Semler, who are going to bring you the game. Take it away, boys.
All right, thank you, Richard. Okay, well, here we are, about to get into our second game of the day here, the winner match of Group B, and I think you guys have heard just about every angle that could possibly be worked going into this match. Anders, do you have anything that stood out for you? Do you want to add anything on that brilliant analysis?
I don't know. I mean, to be honest, I'm just excited to see Virtus.pro play Mirage. And more than anything, I'm excited to see Neo play because, like Richard said, and like he said we discussed earlier, he's been playing really well online the last couple of weeks. So that's just the one thing. There's a couple of things here I think that are working against PENTA having another upset. First of all, Virtus.pro is a better team than Hellraisers right now.
Yes, true.
And it's not their first match of the day. Even though they played Bulgaria and maybe it wasn't like the biggest warm match they could have had, it still means they aren't coming into this like completely cold and just like, you know.
No, it's true. PENTA have had a little bit of time to cool off. VP just came straight in from the last match. One thing to consider, well, I'm sure that it was mentioned as well, you know, the DreamHack Winter, the fact that this is a kind of a rematch, best of one, not best of three, but I'm sure the PENTA are going to be looking for some revenge here. So there may be that, right? VP looking to defend themselves against these guys, and PENTA looking to prove themselves.
But it is interesting that we've ended up on Mirage of all maps for best of ones, because we were just talking about how Dust 2 and Inferno are like the big best of one maps. So credit to the teams for giving us something else. That's always wonderful. And there's a bit of a shot of the crowd as well.
Oh, yeah.
Getting ready, man. There's so many people here showing up. It's amazing. We haven't even got to the Finnish team. And
3D Max aren't even here.
They will be.
No, it's really sick to see the turnout, man. I mean, the entire event here is just packed full of people as well. The whole thing is just growing bigger and bigger each and every year. So it's really sick to be here at Assembly again, guys. But this is going to be one hell of a battle because I think PENTA are also a very solid team on Mirage as well. We've seen Crystal do some very solid work in the past on it. Next, also, this is one of his stronger maps. So hopefully we'll see a better performance from him than we did on Inferno. But it looks like VP are going to be starting off, well, CT side, unless they try and pull a fast one like PENTA and go, oh, you know what, guys? No, we want to start T.
No more madness, please. Just the regular picks as we expect. This is a CT-sided map, and you know, if you're doing really well on the terror side, you're going to get like 6 rounds. If you get more than 6, that means you've done something extraordinary. Yeah. Pretty much. It isn't that easy, but that still leaves it a fairly even map. I mean, 9-6 sort of average is pretty good.
If they can get 9-6 versus VP,
yeah,
PENTA are going to be very happy because their CT side isn't too shabby. Fifth did bring up some good points, though, of how it is really difficult to deal with VP, especially when they're on their game, how aggressive they can be. They just love to get in your face, look for the entries, and then just continue to plow their way forward to the win.
There's actually one thing I really want from VP, which they're probably not going to do, because I've only seen them doing once in one online game, and I have no idea why they didn't continue doing it. But there's a flash there's a smoke that they can do. Everybody knows about the smokes to the mid window,
sure.
Which even though everyone knows about it, and it's like the most standard thing on Mirage, it still happens that people screw up those smokes, and it has a big deal. So I'm hoping that none of the teams are going to do that, because it's really, really important to get that window smoke down perfect every time. But there's another smoke that you can throw that actually lands towards connector, but not on the middle of connector. It lands on the inside the bomb sign on connector, and I've only ever seen VP throw that smoke. It's a really creepy one because it sort of lingers on the skybox and it just drops down, and it means if you're going for a short rush, for a B short rush, and that's like my favorite thing on Mirage, and I keep raving on about it because it's so much fun. You smoke window, you smoke connector, and then you just go for B really quickly when you have like 1 or 2 people up in apartments coming out as well. It can really catch teams off guard, but like I said, I've only seen them do it once.
You've been advocating this, man. You've been saying we need to see more pistol strats where teams go straight up for a B rush, but not through apartments. They go in through mid, and they just go rushing up short straight onto it.
If you get the kill on if you kill the guy on short, then the only other person who's going to be in B is probably a guy playing truck somewhere in the back. He's going to have to deal with not just the people coming abs, but also the people short. You can see from short up to car. So that guy is going to be in a very, very bad spot. And backup can be pretty far away as well. If there's a guy in window, and if you just smoked up window, he might be trying to rotate into A instead to look down connector, which is also smoked, so he has to run all the way back through kitchen. And yeah, I think the B rush, the short rush combination is really good. I think people have figured out the straight B rush that Fnatic kept on doing for such a long time. I mean, Fnatic, they had the most ridiculous success ratio trying to rush B straight, and but now I feel like you just throw them for a loop. Put some people up short as well, and then you're good to go, catwalk.
So you're saying that this is going to be the next evolution in Mirage play? Fnatic strat has been canceled. It is now going to be about the short rush instead.
Yeah, I hope so. I think it's super enjoyable to watch. It has so many angles to it as well, because you can do it really, really fast. You can do it a little bit slower, and you don't have to put everyone in. If you get the entry frag and the guy on short, why not leave one guy behind in the ladder room? And he can watch for anyone coming in. He can start fighting people who are in the window room still. There's so many different variations of it that are just very fun.
Well, the thing is that Strux is definitely one of those guys who can come up with that kind of strat and apply it. So question is whether VP are going to be the ones prepared to deal with that sort of thing as well. What kind of counters that you can have if both of those guys go short on the B defense, right? These sorts of things.
Well, I would say the 2 best teams in the world are playing Mirage are Virtus.pro and Na'Vi. So I think either way, PENTA have a lot on their hands. And if I was forced to put it here, I'd say VP probably have the edge. But it's going to be a straight A smoke attack coming out here from the PENTA side. Very classic stuff by Ali. Can't see a thing, but it's going to try and get some. Oh, we can look under the smoke. That's such a big deal. If PENTA don't realize this and he gets the bomb carrier killed, then that's all they need. But they actually plant on the outside of the boxes. Great move from PENTA. And now they're all running back. No one is going to stay on site. VP have smokes to smoke them out. If they...
A huge start, and they've got money now as well. That's the big thing here, is that they not only are they managing to put some rounds together, after that last round, they've had a couple of rounds now where they could breathe a little bit. And so VP, even if they were to win a round, they're still going to have to deal with a bot up, rather, PENTA. So PENTA are going to be able to keep the pressure on to Virtus.pro. This is really not going Virtus.pro's way here at the beginning of this half, and they are on the favored side as well. We expect to see VP just be able to lock this down. The one thing, though, is that it's still VP we're talking about, and so I really do feel like PENTA need a lot of rounds. They need to get 6, 7 rounds, really, to start really putting VP under pressure, because VP are so good on their T side of Mirage as well.
Nice aggressive push coming out from Neo, but the backup wasn't quite there. If they should have hit that shot, then it would have been a favorable trade. And now all they've done is put themselves... Yeah, they've made PENTA angry, but Pasha's there. That's a great shot. More of those is exactly what they need. He's going to follow up on Crystal, goes for the third one, takes down Strux, and it's Dennis left here, also tagged very low. Pasha coming in for a force, but he can't quite get it. Maybe a little bit too aggressive. They can save the AWP, though, and that's the kind of Virtus power that they need all the time, basically. 11-4 here. That should be a realistic goal for VP.
Yeah, and it's good to see Pasha as well. After missing a shot at the beginning of that round, an easy shot as well, where he should have been able to pick it up. He comes back in, and he makes up for it. Threefold, not too shabby, Pasha, and he's got that AWP. So now PENTA, after that, the 2-round combination basically has tuned to their money, and they're going to have to go for some pistols here. So again, it looks like smoke's going towards this A site. Oh, And look at this. It just goes bouncing down. It's the smoke for connector.
But it's not quite good enough. It can land right in connector. It's still a really cool idea. Bialy, though, not really impressed by the smoking. He's just ready with a rifle. Those are some really fast shots. That was an incredibly fast 4-kill there. They did not have armor, but still, it's nice to see that they're not dropping anyone. I mean, they need a huge bank. They need all the rest of the rounds right now. And Bialy just making sure he's not going to give up any easy rifles here.
Yeah, and he's going to get some sick money as well right there in the pocket, $1,200. He's not going to be too happy, or not too displeased about that. That's still Pasha sitting at the top of the scoreboard right now, 4VP, 9-0-5, so he's doing pretty well. And he's going for the aggression as well. He's just going to start pushing up. He can play from connector like this, but Snacks, underpass, misses the opportunity to pick up Spitty. Spitty just barely gets out of there in time, and Pasha has lost the duel in the meantime to Crystal.
That's not good. Speedy has now got the AWP. I mean, he's got 6 health left. As long as Nex is alive, he's currently top fragging for PENTA, and he seems to have done a lot better on Inferno here or in Mirage than he did on Inferno. Snacks goes down to Nex, speaking of the devil, and PENTA have so much time. That's really the big issue here. Even the fact that Snacks saw that many people in B-Apps doesn't help them when there's a minute left. They can just walk back as they are doing. And Virtus.pro now have absolutely no clue what's going on. Yeah,
Neo trying to do the best that he can, but Crystal actually catches Taz. And this is a huge opening. Now it's all going to come down to Bialy. He did fantastic versus them when they had pistols, but he's about to go 1v5 here. 30 bullets in the mag, and they are going for the plant. He has to go for something big. He has to go for the boost, and he gets spotted out, and he won't get out of it alive. Strugs will hunt him down, and now it's just Neo rotating over from B, but he's already been cut off by Crystal. That's very well played there by PENTA, getting into position to catch out Neo. Wow, and what a shot by Nex.
Almost looked like a running AK shot then. This is, yeah.
This is actually catastrophic for VP, though, in their money. I mean, they haven't won enough rounds to get a cushion yet, and they just lost one right here. They could be back to pistols.
At least they had that one round where they had everyone alive.
Okay,
and that's gonna be just, I mean, that's why actually that one round from Bialy where he got the 4 people. Yeah, that makes such a big difference now, we see. Because if they had lost 3 or 4 people in that round, or just 2 or 3 actually, they could have ended up in a really bad spot right now. 5-3. And the Polish team still not looking quite awake yet. And they've actually put Neo on Orping instead. As Bialy goes down to Crystal. Smoke goes off, but Dennis is not going to stop. He's just going to charge right through. Taz is gone, and the A-bomb side's lost here. Instant headshot on Pasha. It's Nex. Again, just landing those shots.
Remember what I was saying at the beginning of this map when PENTA might be a little pissed off at VP for knocking them out of DreamHack Winter?
Yeah.
I think it's been stewing for a bit too long here, man. They're about to boil over.
I mean, in a group with Vulgaire, Hellraisers, Virtus.pro, and PENTA, I don't think many people would say, oh, PENTA's probably going to finish first in the group. That doesn't seem that likely. Yeah, the German team just playing to a very high level. It's very cool.
We have to be careful here. I mean, PENTA have to be careful here as well. It might be a repeat scenario here from what they had on Inferno as well, because they got so far ahead, and then slowly but surely Hellraisers were able to claw their way back in and finish at 8-7, come out ahead in the rounds, at least for the half. So PENTA, they cannot think that this is already won. They have to keep cool, they have to keep focused, and they just have to keep extending the lead, because I wasn't joking either when I was saying that VP are still a team to be feared on T side. PENTA need a big cushion going up against the Virtus Plow.
I'm really interested to see how VP are going to react to this, because it's quite clear that A-hold for them is not working, and there's a multitude of ways they can try and deal with it. I mean, first of all, if they can get the information that it's actually going to be an A play, it'd be really good. But this time they're switching up the pace entirely. Neo's going to be in position just as they come charging through. He gets a bit of a, no, he gets the grenade in at the end. Neo got the leg shot as well. Pasha waiting on short. They have 3 people in this bomb site. Solid defense coming out from VP, and that's going to win them the round instantly. Snacks with a triple kill. But that also shows you that PENTA are trying to stay one step ahead of VP. They've been playing so much slow rounds towards the A, smoking off and everything, and now they just throw in a really fast round. Just didn't work.
Now I'm wondering how good, I think that was an anti-flash actually thrown by Snacks. That might have been what made the difference there. But there was something that set PENTA off, that basically slowed them down. They stumbled basically, because I think that push was supposed to happen a lot faster, and it just ended up grinding down to a halt. So it must have been some very good nades coming in from VP there that just cut them off and give them some space. Bialy is going to get the entry here, and Neo will then follow up and take out Spitty, who is lurking in the B apartments. So VP, double entry, they're just going strong right now. Pasha's going to get spotted out in the mid window, however, and Nex just instantly assassinates him.
Really good kill. Crystal on 27 health as well. Next, looking for a little bit more. We see him spraying, but actually most of his kills have been almost just one-taps with that AK. He's been really precise with it. Now, the one thing is, if they go into B now, the big problem is Neo is up here, and he can just turn around and he'll probably get one free kill before they even start reacting to him. And at that point, the round is almost lost. It's going to be 2v4. So, oh, he misses the shot. That's really big. But he gets another one in. Grenade out as well. Almost takes down both Nex and Crystal. Could have been a double. Snax is gone, but shouldn't be a bomb plant happening this round. Neo doing a fine job. Triple kill already and looking just for the last one to make it a quad.
Now he knows exactly where Crystal is as well. Crystal even attempting to jump off shot. Okay. But this is now going to be very interesting here, seeing as how the money might be a bit tight for Penta. Are they going to be able to keep the pressure up on VP? I mean, VP are getting these very solid rounds now. That's 2 where they're able to just keep control, and they kept 3 players alive at the end as well. Let's see. Yeah, it's going to be another round of eco here for Penta, basically. And it looks like when they go for these eco rounds, they just seem to want to get the smoke rounds in.
Yeah, and that's such a good investment again for the German team. Just a couple of grenades here to try and see if they can get in and maybe get the bomb down if that's going to be a thing. But Virtus.pro standing tall against the Tech-9s here. Not even any issues at all. And that's a healthy sign. Because I'm sure VP feel like they're under a lot of pressure right now. But there's nothing to crack a team like losing an anti-eco. Like that's really going to get on your nerves. So now they've at least tied up the game. Make it 6-6, and 9-6 is not impossible now.
Mm-hmm. See, Penta actually have money now, however, so it's going to be AKs again. And, well, Pasha's going to go for the quick peek out towards mid. Not exactly going to catch anybody, though. Good timing on the smoke to block him out, and he doesn't even have a gap to take advantage of either, so it's going to be kind of tricky for him to get much done, and he is going to change up his position now. As far as the defense is concerned, though, look at how VP have focused on mid. They focused on A. They really are expecting a smoke round out of Penta right now, and this could be the perfect gamble on VP's part.
It looks like they're going to be exactly right here, and as soon as they see the smokes, they know that they've pretty much got confirmation there that something is going down at the A bomb site. Still got more than a minute left. Taz trying to get close to the smoke. He wants to catch them as they're coming through, but they're going to catch him in return. Crystal with the opening kill now. They've got to do better than this, VP. Bialy will take down Dennis quick. He's still got 12 bullets, down to 9 now, and doesn't have that much in it. He gets a quick trade, but that's not good enough right now. The 2v3, and as Neo goes down, it's going to be tight, even with Strux being in a 1-on-2 here.
Oh, the bomb.
A kill.
Look at the bomb placement, though.
Pasha at the end saving him. You're right, it was up on the ledge there, up on one of the boxes.
That pretty much dooms Penta at that point, because when you're going up against Pasha, he's sitting in CT spawn, and you don't have a smoke to get rid to like block him off.
Yeah.
How the hell are you supposed to get up onto that balcony to get that bomb? You have to just hit one of the sickest headshots basically with that AK, and it's not really likely. So VP, man, they just barely hold on to that. If that bomb had been dropped lower, then all of a sudden there are options there. You can plan for Courtyard and try and force Pasha out into the open. Pasha looking for the jump, trying to get cheeky here, but hey, he's getting sprayed through the smoke. They want to keep the pressure up right now.
Yeah, they wanted to go really fast short. Snax is here though, and the smoke's going to make it even more difficult. Dennis, he's really got a grudge against Pasha. Just wants to see if he can ruin his stay. And the Tech-9, oh my god, Dennis, 2 kills just like that, and they're a man up. They've stolen the AWP. This is where VP really got to be careful. This could absolutely be a game-winning round for Penta if they manage to break it through. Bialy, strong headshot coming in onto Nex, and it is going to be a 2v2, but he's jumping into the bomb side. Strux takes him down. It's all on Neo. 1v2, and Dennis is going to finish it. What a round. He was previously the bottom fragger for the team, and in one round, he has probably the biggest impact on this first half we've seen yet.
He just made it happen there with that push through. I mean, look at the aggression from him. Hits the running headshot, spots out Taz, who just happened to be in the wrong place at the wrong time with such low HP. That was just magical there by Dennis. That's exactly what Penta needed to get control back. Now they're going to be able to have all the fun again. I mean, they have everything they need to take this last round. 15th round, last round of the first half, and Penta, they could actually change everything. Again, 7 rounds. Just like on Inferno versus Hellraisers, Penta's T side is so on point this tournament so far.
Yeah, absolutely is. They're really aggressive, and they're hitting some brilliant shots as well. It looked like that round was way passed over by the time Dennis made it through the window, and he had, what, 10 health when he came through there?
7, I think. It
crazy. Didn't look possible at all. So yeah, last round of the first half. 7 is a really good number. 8 is when VP really starts to regret ending up on Mirage for some reason. And again, they have a similar setup as last time. And look at Penta, they're throwing all the smokes, pretending this is an A push like it's been so many times, but actually the bomb is over at B, so it's a bit of a fake. And Neo is way smarter than that, spots out people, and now he's going to call for the backup. He's definitely right aware that this is going on. Neo going to pick up the first kill there on Dennis. Still got plenty of bullets in that M4A4. The smoke's actually going to allow him to go back and just stay alive, but not for long. Nex and Strux open up the bomb side regardless, and Spitty's going to take down Taz. What on earth is going on? Bialy takes down Nex, so it's not quite done yet, but there's a huge entry into the round here, and Crystal is covering almost a full length of that bomb side from this position.
Yeah, it's such a difficult position. It doesn't seem like they knew where they were coming from, but now at least they know one guy's out through kitchen. Crystal misses the flick, but Struggs takes out Pasha, and Struggs will pick up the final 2 frags. What a half, and this time Penta come out ahead. This time Penta pick up 8 rounds. They are just doing fantastic on T side today. Inferno, now Mirage. I mean, Mirage as well. This is VP on Mirage. They're supposed to be unstoppable on this map. And Penta are just proving everyone wrong.
And this is turning into a really interesting game.
And no time wasted at all.
No, I mean, I can understand why Penta want to get right in on it. I would have thought maybe Virtus.pro would have wanted to take a moment to breathe, but then again, they're pretty confident too. Crystal, though, snipes Neo instantly in the pistol round. That feels good. And now VP are going to try and speed up behind it. Going to connect a quick. Dennis going to fall back towards the T ramp, in fact, and they're going to catch a couple of more kills here. Crystal next. Dennis, they're just all chiming in. Bialy, the last man standing. Not even going to be a bomb plant, it seems, for VP.
No, he's going to get closed in on. If he can pick up the man here in window.
Yeah, that would have been really big. If they had got that kill, that would have been an easy punt for Bialy, just charging on into the B bomb site. As it is, he might get one, and that would right now be big. Getting a bomb down in 1-on-4 is not easy.
What a mind game for him to be able to pick this up. This is huge, actually. And now comes the reaction. Now Penta know that they screwed up, that they really messed up, actually, because this bomb plant is going to allow for VP to buy one round earlier. Bialy takes out 2 players on short, and now it's Spitty and Dennis just rushing him down. He's not going to be able to pick up a 3rd, but he's already done his job. In a 1v4 situation, he still gets the plant and 2 kills. But this means that VP, 2 rounds from now, they're going to be able to buy now, or 1 round from now instead. So this is big for them. They're going to be able to put on the pressure very quickly here.
Oh, you thought for a moment that was really going to happen, that he could somehow win that 1-on-4, but obviously not going to be the case. And the bomb plant's still quite valuable. It's going to give them a chance to buy a round earlier, and actually they're just going to go straight for it. They're not going to wait. They're just going to try and surprise Penta here. So AK being purchased with armor on snacks, Pasha with the scout armor, and then 3 Tech 9s. Still actually a pretty lethal setup here. But what they need more than anything is an entry frag, and Pasha in the middle might be the guy for it.
Let's see if they can catch it, because Penta really might not be expecting anything like this. Penta, however, are playing fairly safe. They aren't really pushing anywhere, taking any big risks. So they could potentially be expecting some kind of cheekiness to come out here from VP, but an AK to lead the charge, and it's in Snax' hands. And as soon as that smoke clears, he's going to be taking that peek. Taking that 1 step to the right to see if he can catch somebody off guard here. He's also holding this angle just to make sure that nobody can push in from Penta's side. But there we go, smoke about to clear, and now Snax on the hunt, on the move, and he hears those steps as well. He knows somebody's close, and there you go, surprise, surprise. Crystal gets his bells rung.
Damage being done. Crystal, though, with the FAMAS just picking up 3 kills next to take down Neo. And Pasha all alone. Not much he could do from this point. Strux just walking in with the USPS to take the kill. That looked good for just a second. It looked like they could have maybe, if they could have killed Crystal quick, they could have got in there, but kind of see the frustration on VP as well.
Yeah, I think Snax is probably feeling a bit annoyed right now. The opportunity that he missed there to be able to give an opening to his team. I mean, Strux was still going to be on short, but if you can get the drop on the 1 member, just turn it down to that 1 guy on short. It gets a whole lot easier to crack into that site. But right now, VP, this is just a full Glock run, it looks like. P250 picked up by Neo, but that is it. And they're just spreading out all across the map at this point. Underpass, they still have options. It looks like they might be going in for connector. Spitty is here, however. He's going to be in position to spot them out at least. If he takes 1 step, there we go. Spots the first man, and this should now be Penta's round.
They're looking really good for the Germans right here. And they're playing these anti-ecos really well. They're not dropping a lot of members. They're not losing to pretty much anything. I mean, this time it's just Glocks on the T side, but Taz is going to pick up the 1 kill here, Crystal, and actually Speedy stealing that last one there, but no issue at all. They're doing such a fine job on both sides of the map here.
They came very close, man. They came very close to picking up 2 frags. I mean, Nex lived with 1 HP there. That would have made all the difference in the world for VP. If they could have just got Penta to spend a little bit more money this round. But here we go. The beginning now is VP. They've got their rifles. 19th round, so it's pretty much just the same here. Another question. Dennis is going to find Taz. We follow the smoke into mid window, and you cursed him, Anders. You cursed him. He misses the smoke on window.
Just like, I mean, it's the most common smoke on Mirage, without a doubt, and it's something that people fail a lot. And it's because it isn't as easy as it seems. It's worth practicing. You got to sit down every day and just put in a couple of throws there to make it absolutely flawless. Because now they could get picked up from window, and if they do, I mean, they don't have those kind of rounds to throw away. They have to do it. Bialy, though, is going to take down Dennis for a good return kill. Taz is already dead. Speedy will fall. Bialy seems to be almost single-handedly on a mission to just try and see if he can bring Virtus.pro back into this match here. He's been playing really well on the second half. Crystal to take 1. Bialy now 3rd kill. And he's very low on health as well, but he's got them the man advantage, and because of Pasha's position here, this should be around for VP. It should be almost impossible for them to lose.
Yeah, even this, like, Struggs, if he comes around this corner, surprise, but he still manages to take out Pasha. That's actually very quick reflexes there from Struggs. And Struggs looks like now he wants to try and start applying some pressure here. They have a kit on Nex. So Nex needs to get into position to get onto this bomb fairly quickly. They just really don't have much time here. They need to get the kills instantly, and VP should not be making the mistake of allowing them the chance. Neo somehow sprays down Nex, and Struggs is fully committed at this point. He's gonna take the fight, but Neo somehow lives. 7 points of health on Neo. He just dodged bullets. He lived up to his namesake.
Great job on VP's side, but that one move from Pasha could have actually cost them the round, especially with how low Bialy was. That was a really scary moment. Bit of a judgment called on Pasha's side, and I mean, he obviously thought that he was either going to surprise someone in kitchen or maybe find nobody and just walk around. If they had gone short, he could have walked up behind him. So it wasn't completely mindless either, but a scary risk to take at that point in the game. Penta do not have a lot of money now, I believe. So if they start losing here, VP could come back in the game. It is not lost yet. You see the German bank is running quite low, but so is VP's.
Yeah, this is actually going to be a very crucial round right here. This determines a lot of momentum. If VP lose it, they get reset back down to 1400. If Penta lose it, they're going to be ecoing. So this is a very, very tense moment now. Crystal's got his AWP. But look at how VP are able to walk a man right up into connector again. Look at Neo. He's going to be able to lurk right here on the edge. And if Penta try and get information mid, if they try and get close to this position, Neo's going to be able to punish them. He's going to pop out. Let's try and catch them off guard. VP, however, looks like they really expect a B push out of this. Look at the position, or pardon me, Penta. But the positioning of Crystal is very interesting.
Thank you, Snacks. Can we see that smoke actually work? No, that's too high as well.
No, he bugged it.
I'm so glad they're trying to use it. I'll give them credit for that. It's exactly the one that I was talking about. Crystal, though, gonna take down Snacks, and that's obviously a big opening. They realize now as well the smoke has not worked the way it's supposed to be, so they're gonna have to go and look into the window room to cover it here. Dennis to get a kill from inside the bomb site, but Taz with a really swift double return. But the problem with VP is they can't get the bomb down, and there's only 20 seconds left. They're gonna have to move so quick now. Coming up from behind, Neo to get the 1 kill, Taz moving in from the other side. They're trying to sandwich in the remaining German players, and they're doing the damage here, but they're running out of time. There's the 1 kill in 8 seconds, and all Strux has to do is run, and he's gonna win the round. Neo can't do a single thing about it. What an upset.
And just like that, and now Struggs is role reversed. Neo better be running away because he's not getting any round win bonus, and they are just, of course, so happy over on Penta's side right now. I mean, everything seems to be going their way, and this despite Taz's best efforts here. I mean, this entry, thanks to the instant replay, we actually get to watch it over again, but he really just cracked open that site and gave his team a shot.
This problem in the A bomb side is one that a bunch of teams have been struggling with lately. Let's just see if Neo can get the kill. He can on Crystal. This is the casual eco that we're talking about, and it actually works next, though, coming back with some really good kills there. There's the 1 kill and the damage done as well, but Neo will pick up 1 more, so it's still a 3v3, and it's not like Nex has a lot of health either.
This is still very scary, actually. Bialy now. I mean, Nex is so low that Bialy is dangerous. He's a danger to him, a threat. So Nex has to play very carefully from Electric right now. And there you go, actually. Struggs is going to be able to take that peek from short. Taz now trying to get into position to see if he can't catch him out. There's no angle to work there. Struggs playing very safe. I mean, this is very smart, actually, from Penta. They don't want to over-peek and give Virtus.pro a way back into this. They know that Neo has that op. All he needs is a pixel, and it could be back into a 2-on-2.
It's going to require something near divine intervention for Virtus.pro to be able to win this round. I mean, they have combined 20 health, and there's 216 on PENTA right now. Any misstep, any showing, your elbow, your feet, you're going to be gone.
I love that he actually used an off decoy nade, Anders.
That does make me happy.
See?
I don't think it's going to
Neo.
cheat PENTA at all in this position, but you know, it does bring a smile to my face.
20 seconds, though. 20 seconds. VP are going to have to start running at some point here.
Or they just save all out.
Yeah, that's the other option. 10 seconds. Yeah, it's looking like it is just going to be a save situation. Taz is holding one entry. Neo will watch the other.
I'm really not a big fan of saving where Taz is right now. If the clock runs out, there's a good chance Speedy could just turn around and shoot up here. Don't do it. Taz, that's all right. Fair enough. That is very, very common for people to do once the time runs out, to just try to start shooting at exactly at the kitchen at B, because it's a very wall bangable spot. Let's put it like that. But no, danger was avoided that one time. PENTA still, I mean, that's a 5-round lead they have. They don't have all the money in the world, but BP certainly don't either.
They're on the CT side. I mean, they have the advantage right now. This is so huge for them. 3 rounds is absolutely doable. Virtus.pro, it's all the pressure on VP.
So one thing to talk about really quickly here, and I'm hoping maybe if Flaren and the panel can elaborate on it afterwards, but actually, when you're playing teams that are really good CT side Mirage, one of the big issues you keep facing on the Terror side is that even though you get all the smokes down, you get in, even if you get the bomb down, holding the bomb site without losing everyone is just so tough. I think Dignitas is one of the teams, or now the TSM team, is one of the teams that struggled so much the last couple of times when they've been playing this particular map. They get in, but they can't actually win the round from it, even though they take the bomb site, which is supposed to be the hardest part of the fight, basically.
It's landing those shots. Once those smokes clear, you have so many angles. PENTA right now, I mean, again, look at this push coming in from Crystal. He's all the way up to top mid at this point. This is a lot of information gained. He's going to walk back into T-spawn. He's taking some steps. He's trying to get in there, and he spots a man. But he got spotted as well, so VP know that the game is up, that they have to go for this A site now.
They can't do anything. There's only 35 seconds. They get in here. Snacks gets the 1 kill on Dennis. Speedy with a good return. Speedy goes down, Snacks, and now it is a 4v3. Can they get the bomb down here? Just 25 seconds. They're getting sprayed down through. That's exactly what I meant. The smokes are down. They get the bomb site, but they can't put down the bomb. Taz is gone. Next, trying to get the shot on through on Pasha. They can't, they have to get this bomb plant quick, but look at Strux, he's doing wonderful work. Triple kill coming out, and it is gonna be a 14th round for PENTA. That was an exact illustration of what we were just talking about. You get all the smokes down, you get the initial frags. Any other bomb site, almost on any other map, you'd be cool, you'd be good to go, right? If it was Dust 2B, you get the entry frags, you put the smokes down, there's no chance you're not gonna get the bomb down and win the round, but A-site Mirage is just so different.
And now this is damning for VP. 4 spy out of them, just trying to do the best that they can. They're going to go for another smoke round onto the A site. Just running gun. Spitty just going for the mad spray. Finally gets the job done, but he's taking way too long. Dennis will step in to lend a hand, and he's just laying down the pain. Taz is the last man alive, and he's just going to get dropped on by Crystal point blank. And PENTA are now on map point. 1 round away from picking up first seed in Group A going into the brackets tomorrow.
And how much? I think they put like $1,600 or something in grenades into this round with the specific goal of getting the bomb down, which never happened. So yeah, it's match point right now for PENTA. This, I mean, this might not be the first time that we've seen PENTA play well, and not even on LAN, but this is definitely a big day for German Counter-Strike, no doubt about that.
This is a connector snuff, and this is actually an underpass push. This is all about picking off Spitty if he was here in this location. This is really smart here from VP.
Nice grenade, actually, to soften him up. They need to win 7 rounds in a row right now, VP, to force overtime to get back in this game somehow. Does not feel like it's going to happen.
No, this definitely feels just so rough right now. Smoke up to B site. They've got the bomb. VP. This is looking like it's going to be that split, but Crystal spots out Pasha. Pasha not able to do anything in this scenario. Next takes out Neo. The double spray, not the triple, but there's still a man alive on this site. This is looking so slim now for VP. They have to hit some insane shots to come back in this scenario.
Once
or they
again,
have to make the right call.
I mean, the clock is running out on them right now. If they run all the way back to A, they're going to get there by the time there's 25 seconds left, and there won't be enough time, essentially. Taz will take down Dennis. They're going up underpass, and here we go, 30 seconds. And 25 is not going to be too often far off the mark either. Crystal taking a fight, and Bayali, he had the bomb. If he had died then, that'd probably be game. Now the question is, can Strux finish the game right here? It's 1-on-2, and he cannot. Taz will come through. There's a double on Bayali, triple on Taz. Great work from the remaining VP members. That's a very hard round to win.
That's a very difficult round. That's all about making the right call, but then look at Bayali and Taz, like the shots that they had to land there in order for that to actually work. That's what it all came down to. Clearing out the A site and then catching the rotators and winning the duels versus the rotators. That was everything right there. VP coming through in the clutch and keeping themselves alive in this. They need 6 rounds now, 6 rounds to take this to overtime to have a shot at that first seed.
Do you believe, Semler?
Anything is possible with VP on Mirage, man. Anything is possible. If they start hitting some momentum, I mean, look at this. They've already forced Penta to pistols. This could be very big. Snacks is trying to take the fight with Spitty, though, but he just runs in, arms wide open. And now a second kill for Dennis.
Oh,
this isn't looking too hot here.
Oh, no, to lose it is one thing. To lose it to an eco is not, that's not going to be fun for VP at all, but it looks very likely at this point. They've stolen the AKs as well. Neo sprays it down just as the smoke blooms. The next is going to be gone. There's a minute left here, so they have a little bit of time to play with on the terrorist side. Good job from Bayali to get the kill, but he's very low, and Dennis is going to come in and execute him. And it's a 1v3 right now. Penta, definitely a new power, definitely a team to watch out for. And if they finish first in this group, as we said, with VP and Hellraisers, that's not nothing. Neo comes on through, somehow doesn't go down. I'm not sure what Dennis did to mess that kill up, but Neo's in a tight position regardless.
Neo is just trying to sow disinformation right now. He might have got spotted there. And regardless, they already have a man in position to stop this push coming through. Crystal, alive in A pit with the AK, will take out Neo before he can get onto that bomb site. And Penta with a huge upset win to take the first seed.
So impressed by Penta, and you can see how excited they are. That is, well, like I said, it's one of the first times I think we've seen German Counter-Strike have a real impact on global offensive. That's super cool.
Well, there you have it. It's just, they had a best of 3 at DreamHack Winter where they lost to VP 2-0. Here, all of a sudden, best of 1, yes, but group phase, they are able to take out VP, the team that was heavily favored to take first seed in this group. Pretty much flat out, just VP first seed, and then it's the battle for second seed between Hellraisers and Penta.
Yeah.
The fact that they come through is just so big, and I'm sure that the analyst desk is going to have lots to say about this outcome.
That is...
Fifar is just like, yeah, okay.
Now that's very interesting. Highlights, I mean, we saw so much fun stuff in this particular match, I feel like. Especially, I think, to see how hard it is to keep that A-bomb site, even when you get the right smokes, even when you get the right entry frags, try and hold on to it afterwards. It's so hard. Mm-hmm. Another team that is like notoriously good at holding A-bomb site is Fnatic. Because Fnatic will put Olofmeister on the CT ramp, and Olofmeister has like an uncanny ability to shoot everyone no matter what happens, and it's, yeah, I mean, Dignitas is one of the teams that's run into it a lot. TSM.
Absolutely. The Fnatic have just been so good on that map in particular, especially because it's always one of my favorite points is the fact that Olofmeister and Cribs come from LGB. Yeah. LGB used to be beasts, monsters on Mirage, so them joining Fnatic only made that team stronger on that map. I love watching Fnatic on Mirage. It's always a pleasure. But we shall see, guys. It looks like, at least here, we have the first team. Now it's just going to be a battle between VP and Hellraisers.
That was 16-10, by the way, between Hellraisers and Volgaire, so that's
okay, well, there we go.
Well, I think the studio is just about to be ready, so take it away, Richard.
Like that.
So there we have it, guys. Another upset, and it looks like it's your turn to be smug now. We're 1-1. I did say
I didn't get score right.
You didn't get the score right, but you definitely called Penta to win that. And you know, I got to be honest. Like I did say Penta are the real deal. I did say they're a team to be taken seriously, but I didn't think they could beat you know, a former major winner in the form of Virtus.pro. Yeah. So good call by you. But I know who's going to be able to shed some light on it. So we've got one of the Penta players here. So man, that's like the biggest result in your guys' history right there. Like,
definitely, I agree with you. It is just awesome that we won. We changed our team after the ASUS split invitational. And we were playing for like 1 month of practice because of Christmas, and we didn't have really time. But in the beginning, we were not so good like with the other team. But now, like within the last 2 weeks, we improved a lot. And I think we just showed that we have a great potential. And yes.
Yeah,
sure.
Well, let's talk about individual performances. I think it's been interesting. Everybody's been obviously focusing on the new guys that have come in, but everybody's had good, great rounds. A real solid level of play. That hasn't really looked like a weak link. How are you guys feeling individually about each other's performances?
In the first game against Hellraisers, me and Nex didn't play our A game, but I think in the second game we did pretty good. But we played great as a team. Individual level was rarely needed, and we just played out our team play.
What have you been doing in terms of practice that's been different? You said the last 2 weeks something's really clicked for you guys, so what is it?
We just sat on the server and we're going through all the maps like positions, goals, tactics, and we were watching, of course, the demos of our enemies. And we were practicing against other good teams, and yes, that's it.
Sounds good.
That's the secret. Do what everyone else does, but just do it better. We were watching the game backstage, and I was watching it with obviously all the other players. Some of the other players from the other group are starting to filter in. We sat and we were watching you play, and I won't say who it was, but there was a top Swedish player. One of the best, was watching your game, and he said that Penta team, if you give them time and you give them the right support and they don't mess with the lineup, they'll be a top 8 team in the world. That's what he said. So how do you feel about that?
That's nice to hear. Who was it?
My lips are sealed. What goes on backstage remains backstage, but it's a very good compliment.
No, yes, I agree with you. That's pretty nice to hear, and of course we will give our best to reach our goal to be a top 8 team and to perform pretty good at the next major event, EMS Katowice. And yes, we will see.
Just a few thoughts about Virtus.pro. Obviously, a bit of a shock that you beat them, but I mean, did they seem off to you, or do you think it was a case of they played below their level as well as you guys playing so well?
I don't know. I can't really say that. I mean, it could be the way that they were off level, or it could be that we just that we didn't allow them to play their level they normally play. And yes, I don't know. Overall, I think we played pretty well, and they did too.
Yeah.
So you're through the group as the number 1 seed. So who do you think you're going to be playing from Group B? I mean, obviously this is a difficult situation for you because you don't know who you're going to be playing yet, so it must be hard to prepare. Do you have any ideas about who you think you might play or who you would like to play?
Yeah, who do you don't want to rather play?
Yeah.
Personally, I would love to play against Titan, NIP, not in the quarterfinals, on the semifinal. No, semifinals, yeah. Personally, I would like to play against Titan first.
Okay. Why is that then?
I don't know, because NIP is just a pretty good team, so is Titan. Yeah.
You think Titan are a bit weaker than NIP? Is that why?
Is that what you're saying? Yeah.
I see. I got him to say it, guys. I did it. I got him in there. So, but look,
that's not how you can say it. But yes, it's just a personal preference.
Yeah. Do you think it's going to be harder when it's going to be best of 3 as well?
Yes, of course.
Yeah.
For us, it will be harder because we are a new team.
Yeah.
And we are playing against really experienced players. I mean, everyone in that team and those 2 teams. We're playing for years in the top scene, and yes, it will be pretty hard.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, okay. I mean, we were talking about that, the difference. The best of ones, it can lead to these random results, but I wouldn't call it random. You called it. I said you were going to win your first game. I mean, just incredible performance, and it's good to see, a young team sort of coming through, and especially a German team, because there aren't many of them.
Yeah.
None of them.
Took a long time.
It certainly did.
And you here to stay now?
No, of course.
Good. Well, look, we'll let you get back to hanging out with the rest of the guys. We've sent Fifth Lauren on the walk of shame because our expert panelist hasn't got one prediction right yet. So, wish you all the best, though.
All right, thanks for having me.
Well played, man. No worries. Glad to have you on. Just kill the headset and we'll let you go. All right. All the best. Take care. So there you go. That was Dennis, of course. Sorry, I didn't even introduce him. But Marcus, he's saying all the right things. Like,
Yeah.
you know, I've been around a lot of teams, you know, over the years. That is somebody there who is supremely confident in his
Yeah.
team's ability and their, you know, their ability
They look
to win
confident.
even against the big teams now.
Yeah, it's going to be fun to see how they turn out in the semifinals.
Well, yeah, the best of threes are going to be
That's what I'm thinking.
make
It's
or
going to
break.
be really interesting to see how they can put up with against NIP or maybe Titan then.
Well, let's talk a little bit about what you thought they did so right. Obviously, we were watching the game.
Yeah.
And, you know, you're the analyst here. You're the guy who's got the brain power for that sort of thing. What did you think was the secret to their
Well,
success?
ST, they started off ST and they got a lot of rounds. So I think they got 8 rounds, which is really good on Mirage ST, especially against the team as Virtus.pro, which is really good on Mirage. So they got their picks pretty much. They were playing on picks and they had a really good pistol round as well as
Yeah.
T. They took A flawlessly, got the plan 5 versus 5, and then managed to win the round by the bomb exploding. So, I mean, I think they were playing a lot on picks as well, but CT, also I saw Crystal play really good as well, getting multiple frags, many rounds as well. So yeah, they just played really good.
Is there any one player that really jumped out on the
Well,
T
I saw
side?
on T side, I saw Crystal taking a lot of entries to the open mid, and so I would say Crystal.
Okay. Let's talk about the CT setup because, you know, it was funny. You said when they moved over to CT, you were like, well, this is the difficult half for them now. And, you know, they were going to come up against, you know, Virtus.pro, who we know are just going to do those A takes that Fiflaren talked about before that game. But actually, they held their sights really well, and they seem to have a very good setup.
Yeah, it felt like Virtus.pro didn't really get into the game as T either. So I also saw a couple of things, like they missed a lot of crucial smokes in the beginning, like on the pistol round as T. They were supposed to smoke the window room and middle, and they missed it. So they got a first entry there, and they could see all of them running into the connection. So I mean, there's a couple of things a couple of smokes they were missing and stuff like that. So I don't know, it didn't really feel like they got into the second half.
So this puts Virtus.pro in a difficult situation because obviously they're now up against Hellraisers in a crunch match. I mean, that's what they're looking at. They've got to beat Hellraisers now to kind of progress. And Hellraisers obviously in the same boat. They need to win that game as well.
Yeah.
I think Hellraisers have been a bit more hit and miss, but anything can happen. And they're old school players who go way back with each other. You know, they know each other's games inside out. Let's talk about that game and how we think roughly, you know, you think it's going to go before we do a more detailed analysis before.
Yeah, I think Virtus.pro is probably going to win that game. They're probably going to just reload and just try to get back into it and just forget about this game, just keep going forward. It depends on which map it's going to be as well, but I think Virtus.pro is going to win.
I mean, Hellraisers didn't really impress me a great deal in the opening game, but now that Penta have beaten Virtus.pro as well, you've got to wonder
was it Penta that was playing good?
Yeah, exactly.
That's a good point. It's a really good point.
It's I don't know. Imagine if Hellraisers and Penta went through.
Yeah.
Imagine.
Yeah.
So it's entirely possible. Did you see Virtus.pro at all before they left the stage?
No. Actually, I did see Pasha. I didn't see that flustered.
I
didn't see that rage or the sad emotions.
I'm just trying to wonder which Virtus.pro is going to turn up to this must-win game.
Hopefully, I mean it's a big tournament, of course. They just bring everything they can to the table. It's just a big upset.
Well, it's absolutely huge. And again, you know, got to give all the plaudits to Penta. I'm super psyched because it's good to see that it's not just the old guard. It's not just these old established players. We are getting some new, you know, a new breed.
It's really good for
through.
the scene. Not only the same teams all over and over again. I mean, it's fun to see that a new team with the new players, not totally new, but you know, can come and beat the really good teams on a big tournament like this.
Well, look, congratulations on the. On the prediction being right. You know, like I say, I think Fiflaren's out the running to be right for predictions today, but me and you are head to head. Have a think about the forfeit. We'll do something a little bit fun. You have a think about what you want. We'll get it up there on Twitter or whatever, and we'll see what happens. But thanks for your thoughts on that one. Now, what we'll do is we are going to take a short commercial break before we come back and bring you this, deciding game between Virtus.pro and Hellraisers to see who's going to go through. It's going to be an absolute monstrous finish to the round. Really looking forward to see how it goes, so I hope you'll join me after this commercial break.